Hey everyone, my name is Ben O'Donnell, and I'm the president and co-founder of Kids Allergy Network. This podcast is an introductory episode to get to know the three hosts, and in the future, we will be having guests with allergies on the show to share their experiences and stories.
My name is Nguyen. I am co-chair of the Mukbang.
I'm Mateo and Nacu. I'm also a co-chair.
I'm Benton. I'm a co-chair.
So I have a lot of allergies, so I'll just list them off. I'm allergic to all nuts, coconut, sesame seeds, and codfish. And I have one story about how I found an allergy. So we were at the dessert table, and there was like a bunch of cookies, right? And my cousin asked me, do you want a chocolate chip or white chocolate, right? And I was like, okay, I'll try the white chocolate. I took a bite, and then my throat started to like close up, and like I couldn't breathe very well. And then I told my mom, and then she realized that it wasn't white chocolate, and it actually was macadamia nuts. So I ended up like getting hives and throwing up, and this overall was an awful experience.
After your cookie experience, did you have to go to the hospital? How did they treat you? How did you find out you were allergic to all sorts of nuts?
Okay, well, answering your first question, what I did was, I don't know, I find that like drinking Sprite kind of helps like clear my throat or something. I don't know if that like scientifically helps or not, but yeah. And then I ended up also taking some Benadryl, and yeah, to like calm down the hives, and like the reaction stopped like a little later on, but yeah.
Have you had reactions since then?
Let me think. Yeah, I have. Definitely not like as bad. I should not lie. Okay, so in a lot of protein bars, there tends to be like a lot of nuts, because nuts, you know, they're like a good source of protein, and like often like it's kind of hidden in the label and not like very like straightforward. So yeah, I took a bite, and this was as I was working out. So and I was really hungry, so my friend offered me a bite of this protein bar, and I took a bite, and then I went back to working out, and like 10 minutes later, I started getting really itchy, and then of course hives again. My breath was like slowing down, and then I just had to sit out for the rest of the day. And then I actually ended up going to urgent care for that one, because it was getting bad. But, yeah.
How did you find out you were allergic to cod?
The cod, I think it was just like an allergy test from like a doctor, but yeah, there was no like real experience.
Have the doctor said in the future you might grow out of your allergies?
Like obviously it's a little bit rare, but like I hope so. Yeah.
Need you go through that therapy where they give you like a little bit and then a little bit more until you don't have it anymore?
I think so. I think one of my friends actually did that, and he ended up overcoming some of the allergies. But,
Wow, good for him.
yeah.
Have you ever used an EpiPen before for your allergies?
Thank God I haven't. I haven't needed to, but you know, hopefully in the future I won't have to. But, yeah. Pretty much every day, if I'm like at a restaurant or something, I'm always gonna have to ask like the server or like the chef about my allergies, just to like avoid any accidents. And yeah, it does get annoying, but it's one little thing just to really just like keep myself safe. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple of times when I used to eat these bars called honey stingers, and I remember I gave them to Mateo last year, and he almost made it. And then I was like, no, you can't eat that. So it's kind of it's tough sometimes, like looking out for friends, and you know, it just sucks because you get in the moment, and then you're like, everyone's going along, everyone's vibing, and then suddenly they're about to eat a bunch of sesame seeds or something, and you have to be ready. So that's been my experience. Tate, so we talked a lot about Mateo. What allergies do you have?
I'm allergic to bananas actually, and a lot of seasonal stuff like fur on dogs, cats, and all that. Pollen, of course. And, like, there's a lot of environmental stuff, but bananas have affected me a lot because I'm an athlete and I have like quick source of
cramps.
sugars, foods, and like potassium. And it's been really hard finding a healthy alternative that doesn't make me cramp. And just with that, it's affected my athletic career a lot.
Jeez, and you do fencing, right? Cramping is pretty common.
Yeah, it's pretty common for me at least.
So what do you have to do instead?
I have to take this little powder. It's almost like pre-workout if you know what that is. And it's basically just like a little electrolyte packet. And it has like potassium, all of those essential electrolytes, and all of those essential like
That's great.
elements that make your blood work how it's supposed to.
You tried to solve your allergies?
Yeah, I have before actually. When I was younger, like I was around 5 years old, we identified my allergies. And my dad was researching how like I can get rid of them because they were really affecting me. I was having nosebleeds every day. I had a really stuffy nose no matter what I tried to do. So then we found a solution, allergy shots. And at first I had to have these allergy shots every other day, about 8 of them. But eventually over time, I didn't need to have them as often. And then thank God now I don't have to take them anymore because I've thrown out most allergies because of those shots. And I think they're a very effective way to like help allergies. And unfortunately, for me it was just environmental. So my banana, I still have my banana allergy.
For all the kids watching, how affordable are the allergy shots?
I'd say if you have decent insurance, most insurances cover it if it's like affecting you greatly. But it definitely varies from person to person depending on what type of care you have.
Yeah, so usually the may contains peanuts like made in a facility where nuts are used. Like usually that's fine with me. But if like it's in like the main ingredient list, like it says like it does include or it's like a warning. Obviously I will avoid that. So often restaurants like they use like peanut oil and like sesame oil, and for a while I was like avoiding those because I thought that it wasn't safe for me to digest those. But I realized that in those oils the protein is taken out, and that's the part that I'm allergic to. So like a couple of years back, I started to not worry about the oils and like start to use those.
In foreign countries, since like different, I know you travel a lot.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they speak different languages other than English.
Yeah.
Have you ever had issues telling people about your allergies and like just communicating your allergies?
That's a very good question. My mom is like very like ahead of the time. Like she'll always be prepared for that. Like sometimes she even like make like little cards that like explain like all my different allergies, like with like the translation and stuff like that. So yeah, that's very helpful.
Sounds good. Henry, have you ever had any personal experience with allergies?
I actually have seasonal hay fever, and basically they used to affect me a lot when I was younger, and I used to play outside. So like spring or summer will come around, and I'll get it, and basically what happens to me is I get really hot. I get really hot, and I kind of get angry. I start feeling a bunch of emotions. Like last time I had it, I was crying, and then I got really frustrated and really angry, and I'm just sort of all over the place. And the only, like, there's no EpiPen you can take for hay fever, so really the only thing you can do is just go inside and get under a cool fan, and that's really what solves it for me.
And when was the first time you had this hay fever?
When I was 8, I'd say. I didn't know what it was at first, and I was really scared, but, I mean, you just gotta sit down and take a couple breaths, hopefully inside, and it'll go away.
I think there are like some over-the-counter medications that can help with like seasonal allergies, like Zyrtec.
I do have Zyrtec. I have Zyrtec, and I have just a regular allergy relief that you get at Walgreens. And Zyrtec helps. Like at summer camp, I'll take a Zyrtec every morning. But still, I mean, if I don't take it, my pollen allergies aren't that bad. So I'll just get like a runny nose sometimes, or like a stuffy nose, or it's pretty much what happens.
Have you guys gathered any tips on how to deal with allergies over the years?
Well, of course, as I mentioned the shots before, but also just making sure you read the ingredients, be very thorough with your ingredients and research, and also be very careful of what you're putting into your body, because as you know, it could have a serious reaction. Nobody wants to go to the hospital using EpiPen.
Yeah, I would also say just be aware of your allergies at a very young age. So if you have a reaction to one thing, go to the doctor right away and get tested for everything so that you don't have like a scare where like you're eating codfish and then suddenly you're having a reaction.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm having a party with Tate and Mateo, like it's my birthday party. I know it can't be any banana bread, can't be anything with nuts. Like you just have to be very aware. Like if you're having a vegetarian kid over for a sleepover, you're not gonna serve them meatballs, right? So you just have to be really aware with what you're handing out. That's really the main thing. Not saying no, you can't eat this, you can't eat this. Just don't have it there in the first place. Like don't make them feel left out, and don't threaten them.
Atomic wing time.
Let's smell it first. Oh, that stings.
Sour.
That stings.
Alright.
You ready?
Cheers.
How was that?
That was not bad at all.
Well, for me, my symptoms start by like my throat gets kind of itchy and like it gets like harder to breathe, and then like later on I'll start getting hives and like get like really like stay really itchy, and yeah.
That goes to show how much it can affect your life. You have to keep an EpiPen with you at all times and be cautious of what you eat and be fearful of what you ingest.
This was Nguyen
Mateo, Nacu.
and Henry Benton.
This
And
is
this was
the
Kids
Allergy
Allergy
Network. See you next time.